Welcome back to the Fanspeak Network. We're here to overreact to everything that we saw in week 6, and then, of course, look ahead to week 7. We are live. This is the Fanspeak Network. Jamie, welcome back. How you doing today?
Doing good, man. How you guys doing?
Doing pretty good. Getting into my groove here, right? As we get this going. Tyler, what did you think of all this weekend's action?
I thought it was pretty good. I mean, kudos to you, Spread, because if I just rolled out of bed, I wouldn't have been able to jump right into hosting abilities. Like that first entry would have just been like, yeah, hey, it's the NFL show, and just click the button. So
Professional.
being able to roll out of bed and just be a little cheery guy. So ready to break down some football. I think we had some interesting upsets. Jamie called Dart looking good, and Dart's now minus 140 to win that offensive rookie of the year now. So had a good call there. Some other teams are getting banged up, and some other ones are getting healthy. And looks like KC might just cruise to the Super Bowl like we were talking about, Spread.
All right. Is that your hot overreaction? And do you want to cruise to that one right now?
I mean, it's not really an overreaction, but for a team that's, when you look at the playoff picture right now, they're not even one of the 8 teams in the playoffs. They're on the bubble. I think they're the best team in the AFC. What's the?
I mean, I'm not going to argue with you there.
Yeah, that's why I don't think it's really a hot take. I just think that they're going to cruise. I'd get a piece of that plus 340 while they're still behind the Bills to win the AFC. They're plus 125 to win their division right now. Denver looked like they couldn't move the ball against the Jets, who are terrible. The Chargers lose more and more guys every week. So Kansas City should cruise. The plus 125, the plus 340, and if you want to even bet the Super Bowl, I'd get on them now. They're just going to keep going down.
Yep. Yeah, I actually just wrote it up for Bookmakers Review today. Offshore, Bookmakers still plus 939.
I mean, just for fun, like looking at the 8 teams in the playoffs right now, the Colts in the 1 seed in a real playoff game. Any chance to beat Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid? Probably
I'm glad
not.
you finally come around on that one.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying no. They could be the 1 seed going into the playoffs. I think they could beat other teams in the playoffs. I think they could beat Buffalo. I don't think they could beat the Chiefs. The Steelers. Do we think they could beat the Chiefs? I don't. I've seen what that looks like before. The Chargers are the 3 seed. They're depleted. That same team isn't beating the Chiefs again. The Patriots, I don't think so. The Bills, no, not with the way they're constructed and what they look like last night.
Let me jump in right there, and let me involve Jamie a little bit. Are we not just kind of overreacting a little bit to a 2-game losing streak? I mean, are the Bills that bad off just because they lost 2 games in a row, Jamie?
No, I don't think they are. But that kind of segues into mine too, which we can all kind of mix together because I think we're all have similar thoughts. Is that I think the parity this year in the NFL is probably like the widest I've seen in a long time. I mean, you get the Bills who lose to the Patriots, who the Patriots lost to the Raiders, and they lost to the Falcons that lost 30-0 to the Panthers. The Packers lost to the Browns. The Eagles just lost to the Giants. I just think the NFL is like really wide open, which I think goes to his point a little bit more about the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is playing like the best football we've seen in multiple years. He's getting Rashee Rice back now. His weapons all of a sudden look pretty good, right? It's like Kelsey doesn't look as washed to me. Worthy solid, getting Rice is solid. Hollywood Brown seems to be decent. And I also think that they're going to be a buyer on the trade market too. Like I wouldn't be shocked, right, if they go out and get like a Breece Hall or something like that. I could see them being a buyer for sure. But it also leads me to my next thing of thinking that I think one of the best bets we can make right now is taking the Ravens to make the playoffs at plus money and dabble with them winning the AFC at plus like 1,300. Is it a long shot? It is. But when they come off of a bye, Lamar should be healthy and ready to play. They play Chicago, Miami, Minnesota, Cleveland, the Jets, the Bengals, the Steelers, the Bengals again, and then Patriots, Green Bay, and Steelers. Like there's an outcome where this team is 10-7 at the end of the year, and they're probably going to make the playoffs. And if Lamar Jackson was playing about as good as anybody, they almost beat Buffalo in week 1 till the Henry fumble, and they kind of choked that away. They almost beat the Lions in week 3 till they kind of choked away in the fourth quarter. I don't think they're as bad as their record shows. I think if they get healthy, their defense is definitely an issue. But offensively, I think they're going to be able to win some games, and they have a really nice schedule coming up. So I think that's a bet that will probably age pretty well here in like 4 to 5 weeks when do you think the Ravens are going to lose to like the Browns and the Jets and the Dolphins and the Bengals? I don't personally. So I think that's one of the best bets we can make right now, personally.
All right. Jamie's
just a little, not an argument to that, but a little bit of a counter to it. I don't hate betting them, say, to make the playoffs because you're probably getting a decent number there.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of betting them to win the AFC and the Super Bowl, why not just take his MVP at 50-1? Because if he goes on a run and gets them there, his name's going to come flying up the board in those MVP rankings.
He definitely could, but I do think there's a scenario where Mahomes just like kind of runs away with it. I think like if the Chiefs kind of do what we think they're going to do, I think just with the name of Mahomes anyways, having like that really big year because he's playing really well, I think there's a chance that he just kind of runs away with it and Lamar isn't able to get it. But I think that's a good look too. But like I said, just with the parity this year, like any team feels like it can beat any team. The Bills seem pretty beatable. That Bills defense, I don't think is that much better than
okay, but
Ravens.
We talk about Rashee Rice coming back. Like, don't you think the Bills are much better when Matt Milano comes back?
The Bills 100%. I think the Bills are going to be much better. That's part of the thesis of why we bet them, right? Because like the defense is bad too, but like I said, they scored 40 points on the Bills also, right? They scored 30 on Detroit.
I'm saying the Bills are going to get better too. The Bills are pretty beat up right now. Not pretty beat up, but they have injuries. They can get more healthy, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
I think so. But that's again just my point. I think just the parity is I think all these teams have a chance to get much better. And do we really think the Bills are that much better than the Ravens? We watched these guys play week 1. It was 41-40, right? And it was a game where if Derrick Henry doesn't fumble, they probably win. I just think where you can look at where the Bills odds are right now compared to what the Ravens, and obviously one team is 1-5. That's why it is. But I just think that if these teams met up in the playoffs, what do you think the spread would be? If it was Ravens at Buffalo, do we think it's going to be as far as these odds are saying?
-2.5.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
-2.5.
Exactly my point. Basically a neutral game if it was in a neutral spot. So I just think it's a really good look. And if they get in the playoffs, which is obviously the toughest part when you start 1-5, I think you're going to feel pretty good about having like a plus 1,300 ticket for that team to win the AFC.
All right, guys, reminder, the Fanspeak Degen subscription is live, just $34.99 for the entire season. It includes NFL in-season content, bets, DFS, Battle Royale, and more. Link in the show description. Tyler, for my hot take, I want to go a completely different way.
Before you go, just one question for both of you.
Okay.
Just a hypothetical question. If the Chiefs don't drop these games in week 1 and 2 to the Eagles and the Chargers, let's say they win those, and they don't have the hiccup against the Jags, or they have one loss instead of being 500, what are they, -110 to win the AFC right now?
Yeah, probably. They'd definitely be the favorite.
Yeah. I think it'd be like by a wide margin the favorite. Like the next closest is probably like 5-1.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right. You ready for mine, Tyler?
What you got?
This is what having an elite quarterback can do for you. JSN, his ADP by the end of next summer will be less than 6.9 because of the greatness of playing with Sam Darnold. What do you think, Tyler? Do you think that JSN is going to jump into the top 7 of best ball ADPs next summer?
I mean, depending where some of these running backs are, they definitely could. I mean, I've said the last couple weeks, Sam Darnold's making me eat my words. He looks good.
Yeah, he looks great.
JSN's a top 5 wide receiver in the league. The dude might be top 3 already.
That dude's top 3.
Top 3.
Like if we were going to redo it now, would you draft him ahead of Chase?
Well, with what we know with Chase,
what I know, if you told me Burrow was out, yes.
Yeah, okay. Obviously. Yeah, with no Burrow, that's not even close. Not even.
Like If
close.
you told everyone Burrow was going to be out after week 4, Chase's ADP probably drops what 15, 20 spots.
He's probably a second round.
I don't know about that
second,
more, but he's a second rounder.
Higgins probably
mid-second.
drops like a rock.
Yeah.
Who do you think, like, for things stay the same, do you think JSN will go ahead of Justin Jefferson next year?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
Wow.
Puka and CeeDee Lamb, in my opinion,
that
are
touchdown catch he made, he tracked the ball. Like most receivers, when they track it, they're looking like up and this way so they can see the ball. He was tracking it like this.
Dude,
you know how hard it is to do that?
He's literally Amon-Ra St. Brown to me. Like, I genuinely feel like they're very similar players.
You know another thing, me and my buddies were talking about this. How legendary and just generationally good was that wide receiver room at Ohio State with all 6 of those guys that they made the dude who is the worst ever to play quarterback in the NFL get drafted in the first round, and he still has a job in Justin Fields.
Yeah, it's I mean, Ohio State is crazy.
That year they came out, there was talks he was better than Trevor Lawrence. Mind you, Trevor Lawrence doesn't look like a stud, but Trevor Lawrence looks like a real quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, it just feels terrible.
Lawrence is doing good, right?
Yeah.
I think he's
I mean, if we read a quarterback rankings right now, where's Trevor? We'll leave Jamie out of this. We know he's got him high. How high do you and I have to move him up?
I got my notepad. I always keep my notepad right next to me.
Okay, cool. Pull it up, please.
I had Trevor at 21.
You got him. Who's ahead of him? I bet you the next 5 people we got to move ahead.
Well, Bryce is 1 spot ahead of him.
Trevor's got to be ahead.
Trevor's got to be ahead, but Bryce isn't going down it from 20. Now this next guy's got to go way up, and Drake May at 19. He's got to go way up. He's going farther up.
Where would you put him now, Jamie? Is he top 10 already? Drake May?
Yeah, he's Drake May.
Yeah, Drake May's a stud.
Definitely top 10. Definitely.
All right, what else you got, Tyler?
He's better than Kyler at 18. He's better than Nick's at 17.
Sure.
We had Gino at 16. Sure.
I guess our GMs aren't that bad.
Is he better than Caleb at 15?
Who? Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah.
I think so.
What about Goff?
No.
See, he's probably going to start to teeter in around like the 15 to 10 range, because then you have Dak, Herbert, Love, Stroud, Purdy. Stroud and Purdy probably get kicked out, but Drake May is filling one of these spots.
Yeah, I was going to say. Lawrence or Stroud right now, Jamie? Who do you think?
That's not even close. Trevor Lawrence.
Yes, it's Trevor Lawrence, but here's the other problem spread in these rankings. If we bump out Purdy and Stroud out of my top 10 and they take away the 9 and the 10 spot, Trevor Lawrence isn't filling one of those 9 or 10 spots. Because I had May at 19. I had May at 19, who's probably going to fill in at 9. I had Sam Darnold at 27, who's probably going to fill in at 10.
Yeah. All right.
I had Darnold at 27 also. That's a
I got my guy Danny Dimes at 30. He's got to go way up the board.
How high do we move him up?
At 32.
He's got to go way up too.
He's way up too, for sure.
Well, we're getting some better quarterback play. Even Aaron Rodgers is playing much better than I expected.
Hurts at 5 probably drops out of the top 15.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, Hurts is definitely, I think, in probably the 10 to 15
if
range.
You redo the rankings right now based off this season spread, he's not in the top 15.
Yeah, but we're not basing it off this season, right? I mean, that's why we had Mahomes number 1 last year, but he didn't have the best year.
If you said redo them right now.
But I'm just saying we're adding this 6 weeks into their whole career, right?
Spencer Rattler's probably got to move up from 32 also, because dude looks pretty good.
Yeah, the Rat's not the problem down there in New Orleans.
There's a hot take. New Orleans doesn't have to draft a quarterback. They got their guy.
The Rat.
Dude, you know how high I was on the quarterback class last year? This upcoming one's got a bunch of names, and they all have so many question marks. Jamie, do you follow a lot of college? Have you been looking at some of these prospects?
I've been looking at some. I mostly only follow Notre Dame, so I really don't watch much other than I watch every.
So you haven't seen like Lenore Sellers or anything?
Yeah, I've seen some of them, and I see, but I don't follow it close enough. Up until probably draft season is when I kind of dive in.
Now,
more.
do you do your own scouting, or are you like me and you talk to Steve?
I do not do my own scouting when it comes to college. It's too much. I can tell you, CJ Carr is the best quarterback in the nation. Hot take. I remember that time you call. I thought you were throwing slander on CJ Carr, and you just mixed up
Stroud.
Carr and CJ Stroud. I was like,
because my point was that CJ Stroud's been being ruined by injuries and a bad organization and a bad offensive line, and he's kind of losing. He's getting rid of the ball too quickly, and I remember Derek Carr doing that too.
Yeah,
where he was feeling the rush that wasn't there, and it was like, man, you're a little too young for this. I'm trying to look over the scores last week and see if there's anything that we left out. I think throwing those quarterback rankings in there, we kind of caught everything.
You talked about the quarterbacks coming out this year. Are there any of them you would take over Rattler to replace him in New Orleans right now? Because I don't. Just looking at this mock draft, they have
Sellers maybe.
I'm not
and Mendoza maybe.
Mendoza's maybe the one because Mendoza's a really big dude. He could run the ball. He's 6'5" and almost 250 pounds. Like he's a huge guy.
Yeah.
So Mendoza maybe. I'm not taking Dante Moore over Rattler at this point. I'm not taking Sellers. Ty Simpson's got an argument because that kid looks like a stud at Alabama. But I still think I might side with Rattler at this point. I'm not taking Mateer over Rattler. Like I think this is Rattler's job. We thought Rattler would have been benched for Tyler Shaw at this point, and they're not going anywhere near him. It's Rattler season.
Yeah.
Well, hey, it's better for us. This good quarterback, like, for example, I'm happy to be wrong about Jackson Dart. It just makes the league better. Let's just say he came in and sucked. Then the Giants are fun to watch.
Yeah, if they move on from Rattler in this offseason and go draft a guy, I will gladly
They're not
take
going
him.
to.
If they do, though, and they say they just want a new guy and they draft Mendoza or something with the 1 pick, I'll gladly take Spencer Rattler in Pittsburgh.
Huh. Is Aaron Rodgers done after this year?
Yeah, sure? He said that he announced this was his last year before the season even started.
Yeah. I think unless, maybe
I wonder if they have some heartbreaking loss in the conference championship.
Yeah, I'll tell you exactly how this is going to play out because this is shaping up.
Let me guess, Mr. Doom
Shake the 8-ball. Shake the 8-ball. You ready? The Steelers are going to be opposite sides of the Chiefs to where they're not going to have to play them until the conference championship. They're going to win their round 1. Then they're going to match up with the Bills. They're going to take out the Bills, and every Yinzer in the nation is going to be like, we got a shot. And then just like Brady and Belichick used to do, Mahomes and Reed are going to smash those hopes in about 12 minutes of gameplay.
Well, since you have them moving past the wild card round, Tyler, it shows that you're more optimistic about your team.
I changed.
The whole time I've known you.
Not a 180 on the team spread, but like coming into the season, I was like, Rodgers, just do your one thing you've done with every coach, get him fired. Just win a playoff game so we could stop this shtick.
Yeah. Hey, I think they got a pretty good shot.
Yeah.
It's really going to be on that defense.
There's going to be a lot of cupcake teams in the playoffs too. And the way it's lining up, they're going to get a home game. So don't lose a home game to like Jacksonville, please.
Yeah.
All right. Mike Robb is not with me. He says the Steelers are going to lose the wild card game on Saturday and lose by 18 to the Bills or Chiefs.
The Chiefs,
thanks, Mike Robb.
That's what will happen. He's right. The Chiefs won't be able to catch up to the Chargers and steal the division, so we'll get stuck with them in the wild card round.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs got the Chargers here. Let's see when Joe Alt gets back in the lineup because we know how meaningful he is for that team. Jamie, do you have your 3 best bets ready, or do you have any more overreactions?
No, I have no more overreactions. I was just going to talk about Jackson Dart for a second, but we already did that, so we can move on. I'm just saying if you got it at plus 800 when I said it is now minus 140, and he looks pretty good throwing to us 3 out there. I'm interested to see what will happen with the Giants. Like part of me kind of hopes the Giants like really just suck the rest of the way. What year is I'm not caught up on college. What year is Jeremiah Smith? Wow,
following year, not this year, following year.
Okay. Scratch that then.
No,
There's
some guys you could want, like Jordan Tyson out of Arizona State, stud receiver.
stud. Okay, because I think if
Lemon kid, USC,
you can get
stud.
if you can get one other good guy, Malik comes back. You got Cam Scatterbo back there. That team would be real fun, real quick. But I was hoping I didn't remember. I knew. Yeah, you're right. He was a freshman last year, Jeremiah Smith. So, but that would have been ideal. But Jackson Dart's so fun to watch.
All the dynasty bros are gearing up for 2027, Jamie. Supposedly that's the year with all the running backs and wide receivers.
Yeah, I could see that.
Just if you had to give your two favorite quarterbacks to start, like with safe spread, if you were to pick just any of these quarterbacks that have came out in the last 3 years, what are the top two you'd want on the Raiders right now?
Jaden Daniels, Drake May.
What about, Jamie, you have Jordan Love, but if you could swap them out for the young guys, who would they be?
Well, Jordan Love was 5 years ago.
No, that's just the two guys right in like the last 2 years. All these.
Oh, I see. Out of the last 2 years, who would you draft to be on your team?
I'm gonna go Drake May, and just to be contrarian and not say Jaden Daniels as well, he very well is probably up there. I'm gonna stick on Brad. Give me Jackson Dart.
I'd go Drake May, Caleb.
I don't know why that's unbelievable.
Caleb ahead of Jaden Daniels.
I think Caleb, the more I watch him throw the ball. There were some of them throws last night where, don't get me wrong, he makes his mistakes where it's almost like he has his read made before the play starts, and he just throws it right at him, doesn't even think about it, and just fires away. Sometimes those end in picks. He had a couple bad ones last night that almost ended in picks. But when there's other plays where he throws the ball, and it's like, man, I don't know many other guys that could throw it like that in the league.
Yeah, no, you could see why he was the consensus #1 pick.
The talent is
Chicago
there.
didn't even bother.
Like once he slows, it's almost like the game's going too fast in his head for him.
It's up here.
Once he slows it down in his head, he is going to be a problem.
Yeah, but the issue is he ever going to do that? Because I think like Fields has a bunch of really good attributes too. But to me, when I watch Fields play, it's like he can't process defenses. It all goes too fast. He holds the ball on for 5 seconds. You know what I mean?
Like ever played in the NFL.
Caleb's processing way faster than Fields. Fields.
Yeah, but I still think there's like issues with Caleb.
Could you imagine the numbers Caleb would have put up in college with that wide receiver core?
Oh yeah,
that's why Fields can't read a defense, because in college all you had to do is drop back and launch it as far as he could. Someone was running wide open.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think. I would still rather have Daniels. First of all, I don't think he's 100% yet, and I know that they lost last night. But I think the best of what we've seen from Daniels is better than.
I'm not saying Daniels is bad. He's a close third for me, but I just watch Caleb more.
And look at what Daniels is doing it with. They're giving Caleb everything, right? Caleb's the kid who turns 16 and gets the BMW, right? Daniels is out there like with a wrench, working on the '68 Mustang, and I know. You guys probably didn't do that, right? But
didn't do that, but I get the reference.
All right. Cool. Any more hot takes, Tyler?
Nope. I think that's pretty much it for hot takes.
All right. Let's dive in. I'll go ahead and start since you stole all my picks last week. I don't know if you saw it, Jamie. Tyler, we usually disagree. Tyler actually we had two of the three. Same one. So we'll see.
I did tell him to go first last week, and he wouldn't go. Yeah. And then I just fired one off, and he was like, "Oh, that's my pick." And it's like,
yeah. So okay, I'm learning from my mistakes. All right, let's see. All right, Tyler, and this is going to be me fighting back against you trying to move Jalen Hurts down too far in the rankings. I know that he's had some tough games, but I still believe in the leadership. The rushing ability means a lot, and we've seen him pass better than he has. I'm not ready to completely write him off because he's had a couple inaccurate games. So I'm going to jump back in and take the Philadelphia Eagles -1. They're, of course, coming off the loss, but they have extra rest. Of course, the Vikings do have extra rest as well, but it's coming off the international trip where they were there for 2 weeks. So I would say that evens it out. And in the end of the day, I think this comes down to quarterback play. The other thing is, I'm really high on Brian Flores and this Minnesota defense, but I think their weakness is against the run. And I think that Philadelphia is going to go back to that. Maybe they tried a little bit too hard to get some of these diva wide receivers involved and create some harmony back in the locker room. Coming off 2 straight losses, they can't afford to do that. They're going to go back to their bread and butter, which is running the ball either with their quarterback or Saquon Barkley. It's essentially pick the winner right now. at -1. And I mean, Tyler, at the beginning of the season, did we even have Carson Wentz on our list? And if we were to redo this exercise, I mean, where would we put Wentz? He's like 27, right? I mean,
he's got to fill in. He's got to fill in one of the bottom slots.
I mean, Kevin O'Connell's doing a fine job with them, and I still think the Minnesota offense will be potent. I might even look to the over 43.5 in this game rather than the under. However, I haven't been as impressed with Wentz as I have as just, you guys say it all the time. O'Connell can make anybody look good, and it feels like he's doing that right now. But I think against Fangio, those guys coming off a loss, we're going to see a focused Eagles team. Give me the Eagles -1. Tyler, your thoughts?
I don't mind it. I mean, you're getting -1 on that. Like you have that line on your screen right now.
Mm-hmm.
I see 2.5.
I see 2.5 also. So
first half or something.
I was gonna say if you're holding
should I just bet it right now?
If you're holding a 1, I would probably bet that.
All right, I'm betting it right now. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. Minnesota's defense has not looked good. I'm not really scared of Carson Wentz and them being able to beat up on this Philly defense. And off a loss, Jalen Carter will be back too. We know how big that is. I mean, they probably bounce back, win this game. So don't hate that call. It's almost like the buy low spot on the Eagles.
Yeah, and a little bit of sell high off Minnesota too, right? Getting looking all right over the international games. What do you think, Jamie?
Yeah, I mean, at -1, sure. I actually think I'll talk about it a little bit later, but Vikings at 2.5 will be one of the T spots for me. I think getting it up to 8.5. I just trust Kevin O'Connell coming off a bye. I could definitely still see the Eagles winning, but again, I trust the defense. I trust Kevin O'Connell. I think they can keep it close. So that's just my thoughts. But like I said, if you get -1, yeah, that's just when every other book is sitting at -2.5, then I don't hate that at all.
Yeah, because all these other games are Sunday lines. Yeah, I just bet it at -1 because I got Patriots at 7, Dolphins at 3, Raiders at 13. All right. That's my first bet. It doesn't look like we have any disagreements. Tyler's with me a little. Jamie's a little skeptical. Tyler, what's your first bet for week 7?
There's a game on this slate. They can't line it high enough because this coach is going to absolutely bury this team. It's the Patriots -7. It's the Patriots -7. This is going to be a slaughter. Back in Tennessee, too, spread. Like, we know how Vrabel is. And he didn't want to leave. They just didn't like the way he coached. Then they fire him. He ends up on the Patriots. They look halfway decent. They're winning their division right now. They're the 3rd seed in the conference. I think that they are going to lay the hammer down on this Tennessee team. Drake May is going to have a big game, and they're going to win this game by 10+ points. I wouldn't be surprised if they beat them by 20. Depending what this game's lined at on FanDuel when they put them out, where the biggest blowout is, I would bet this game to be the biggest blowout because, yeah, Tim even said it. Vrabel's not taking his foot off the pedal. This could be a 4th quarter up 30. They might still try and score.
You better not send me curse words about the Raiders if they blow that bet for you. Raiders right now, 13-point dogs offshore to Kansas City. Man, originally, so when the lines originally came out, Jamie, 7.5 look good, and then you get a new coach bump. But man, Tyler's got a good point, right? Does the revenge factor and just the fact they're simply such a much better team, top to bottom. Have they announced who takes over yet? I know that they fired Callahan, but I didn't see the announcement.
I think they did. Did you,
Jamie? We can't hear you. Did you mute yourself?
I sure did. That's my fault there. They did. I can't remember who it was.
I'll look it up right now.
Was it the offensive coordinator? Maybe.
I'm checking Underdog.
But they did. They definitely did.
All right. The Titans' new head coach, according to AI, is Mike McCoy.
Yeah, it is Mike McCoy.
Is the interim coach after the team fired Brian Callahan. Let me see if I know McCoy.
Got to be a coordinator on the team for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let
There's
me
something
look
through the team.
I'm trying to see if we know anything about him. Michael McCoy. All right, you guys go ahead. I'm going to look a little more into this. Yeah, I don't know if I know anything about this guy.
He's a Chargers head coach from 2013 to 2016. I don't think those were good years.
That's what I was thinking. No way.
I don't think those were good years for the Chargers, if I remember right.
In McCoy's 4 seasons as the head coach of the Chargers, San Diego's offense ranked 9th in the league in total offense. I was with Phillip Rivers, though. 360.9 yards per game, second and third down percentage. They had a top 10 passing attack each season. San Diego qualified. They're San Diego. That's how old it is. They qualified for the postseason in McCoy's first season and beat the Bengals in the wild card round. Boy, I think it's a lot easier to be a good coach with Phillip Rivers. People might argue with me. I think he's one of the most underrated quarterbacks of that little generation there, because he played for such a terrible,
I agree with you, but the one thing that I don't
franchise.
agree with that they always put out there, he was not as good as Roethlisberger.
Yeah,
I think if you switch situations, he would have been just as good.
I mean, maybe, but
If you gave him the
I think
coaching
they're
of
pretty
Mike Tomlin and not Mike McCoy, who we had to look up on a football show,
newsflash.
Super Bowls.
Newsflash, he started winning those with Cower, and he won the second
Can
one.
you
with
imagine Phillip Rivers and Bill Cowher together in the same room at the same
maybe
time?
I'm not saying Phillip Rivers was bad. I think he was really good, but I think Ben was. I don't think Phillip Rivers could have shucked off.
I think
all
it's one of
those
those things
Ben.
where you go to those franchises and your career is screwed. You know, the same as Carson Palmer, the same as Ken Anderson, the same as Boomer Esiason, and now Joe Burrow. All right, Jamie, are we believers in the new coach month with Mike McCoy, or do you think Vrabel puts it on him? I've gone back and forth on this game. Tyler made some good arguments there on taking the Patriots.
Yeah, I have no interest in backing the Titans. I've been off the Titans since like 2 weeks ago. I'm new coach bump. There's no shot in my backing this team. So I'm with Tyler.
All right. What's your first bet? I don't know why I can't say that. Everything else about my hosting's been pretty good, Tyler. Just right now.
Those 2 words always give me troubles.
Yeah, best bet I can't say. Jamie, your first best bet for week 7.
I'm going to go the Browns -2.5 over the Dolphins. I just think the Dolphins are an absolute disaster. I feel like the public might end up wanting to bet Miami at this spot. It was I do see some -3. It is a little more juice.
I'd say offshore moved to 3 on me. So
yeah, it's still -2.5 at -120 at DK. At least that's what I'm seeing. But I just think that pass rush for Cleveland is just going to cause Tua massive issues. I just don't think Miami is very good, and I think Cleveland is a very good defense. And I don't think Dylan Gabriel is what he is, but I think that he's going to be able to get the ball out quickly. Probably a lot of Harold Fannin, especially if Njoku's out, but also love Judkins. So I would be looking at some Judkins props whenever those come out. He's probably going to get the box twice. Who?
He's going to nuke this team, Judkins.
That's what I'm thinking. It's just, and I just don't trust Miami. I have zero faith in that team at this point. So I just think Myles Garrett and that pass rush is going to have a heyday. So I like the Browns at 2.5.
So you weren't impressed with Tua's comments about people showing up late to meetings? It's like, aren't you a team captain? Shouldn't you be the one taking care of that?
Yeah, and I just don't think that's a situation you should probably just say publicly. Like,
and
maybe sit in the locker room.
One of the guys, he's not on the team anymore, but he was like, he was late to my very first meeting when I was on the team.
That sounds about right. I don't know. It's whatever Tua says now. It's like feels like a bit. It's hard to take him serious. It's hard to take Mike McDaniel serious. This team is just
it's like CTE knocked like truth serum into his brain, right? Like one of those hits made it unable to tell a lie, right? Like most NFL quarterbacks, and Shedeur Sanders needs to learn this. You get up there and you go, you know, it's a rough team, but we've been practicing hard this week, and we all have faith in coach, and we just need to execute, right? I mean, there's so many things to say. He's out there just saying, I'm not good like Josh Allen. Like, did you hear that press conference?
100%.
I can't do that stuff. And it's like, why did we pay you the same amount of money?
100%.
Unbelievable what's going on down there in Miami, and it starts at the ownership.
Then you got the coach in Atlanta just costing the GM and the owner more and more money every time he gets on the mic talking about Bijan. Because anytime he gets on that mic, he's like, Bijan's the best football player to ever step foot on planet Earth.
It might be
the owner and the GM probably want to just kill his coach. They're probably like, this dude, is just driving this contract higher.
Doesn't he have like more? Isn't he a better reception stats? Just take his receiving stats. Isn't he doing better than Drake London?
He is ridiculous.
Just receptions.
Probably. Yeah. I mean, that guy's a freak, man.
Yeah, it's reminding me of Barkley when he was on the Giants, right? And he's just doing everything.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of fun though, and it helps my guy Michael Penix, who looks pretty good. Tyler, he was allowed to have a bad game. Let's hope Jalen Hurts can do the same thing for my Philadelphia Eagles. Best bet. Tyler, any thoughts there on Jamie's pick?
No, I mean I agree with him. I like it.
Oh man, one of my lines moved against me. Huh.
We got
All right. My next one I'm going to take. It moved a point since I did this morning. Detroit Lions are now out to -5.5. I love Detroit in the Dome. I'm actually higher in Tampa Bay than Jamie is, but that team is beat up right now. And I love taking Detroit off a loss back at home. It reminds me of which game was it earlier this year where the line moved out to 7 on Detroit. And it's against Chicago. And we were a little hesitant to lay it, and they put the absolute smack down. I love the idea of betting Detroit off a loss. If this wasn't prime time, it's an even bigger bet for me. I'll stick with 1 unit for now, but give me the Detroit Lions -5.5 over the beat up Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What do you think, Tyler? Is Baker going to stick it to me?
I think there's a chance. I mean, that team just seems to just continue to win games and keep games close. You're going to be missing one of your better defensive players in Brian Branch because he decided he was going to beat the hell out of Juju at the end of that game, which was hilarious, by the way. But he's suspended for a game, so he won't be playing. That could hurt that
He
defense.
channeled every Ginzer that just wanted to beat Juju.
That could hurt that defense a little bit.
He said.
I know Ibuka's probably out, but they might just replace Ibuka with Mike Evans. Mike Evans might be back. So they might just be playing this carousel of, well, there's one guy in at all times. So if he gets back, I think there's a chance they cover the 5.5. If he's out too, though, and their wide receivers are Sterling Sharp and Tez Johnson, these guys, I like the Lions side.
Tyler, did you see the little viral video of Tez Johnson thinking the MVP chance for free?
Yeah, that was great.
That was hilarious.
He's like, I didn't do much this year, and they're chanting MVP.
Yeah. I like that kid a lot, to be honest. He has like good personality. I saw the clip of him when he was in Oregon, and he waited, I think, till Will Howard was done after they just won. And I just waited right behind as he had the interview just to congratulate him while everyone else is gone. There's something about him that I really like. So he's a fun guy, I think, to root for. I mean, and
it kind of shows us how we miss on best ball, right? When we're so high on what was the kid's name? Was it McMillan there?
Yeah, he did get hurt. Yeah, he got hurt.
But it looks like Johnson's going to end up being the guy that we thought McMillan would be, the guy that gets all the usage and all the.
I think he's a good fit. He's a good fit for Baker, like a small guy who's fast like that, because Baker could chuck that thing.
Yeah. My worry though is like this could be like a 2-3 week thing where we're like, this guy's awesome, and then like Ibuka slides back in, Evans comes back, Godwin's back.
That's why. But that was when we were gunning with McMillan too, which is why we were kind of grabbing him and saying he was a spike week guy.
Yeah.
Even though it's never happened. 5.5 seems like a lot though, Jamie. What do you think? Am I overdoing this buy low thing here with the Lions coming off that primetime loss?
No, not at all. That was actually my second bet, was the Lions 5.5. I love this spot. Good. Unfortunately, I bet like almost against this Tampa Bay team every week. And at some point, like it'd be interesting if we ever do these rankings again, like where we put Baker. Dude, he is just awesome. Like he's just like probably the most fun quarterbacks to watch, but he is good, man. Like the way he can get out and evade the pocket, get these first downs. Like he's willing to take hits. He talks trash. He has an absolute cannon. He just consistently makes you pay late in the games. So that is my worry, is just the Baker magic. But I do think this is a good spot for Detroit. We like Detroit back at home. This Tampa Bay team, they have been a little bit lucky so far this year in a lot of games. Like their record could look a lot different. Just one or two things kind of change. And I think that a lot of times they kind of start off a little slower, and it's a lot of this Baker magic late. And I think with the Lions, like the Lions to me feel like a kind of a front running team. I think they kind of struggle in games where they get down. I just don't think they have the horsepower, and Jared Goff's the type of quarterback to really get this team back. But when they get a lead on you, I think they're one of the most dangerous teams in football.
I think they're the NFC West Ravens. I mean, NFC not West, but NFC Ravens, right? I mean, they just love to run up the score. And I think that
they will just pound you. They'll do trick
plays. They were going to do it anyways, but you don't think that Dan Campbell's going to have all those guys fired up on the number of comebacks these guys have had? I don't think they're going to lit up at all. So they're
100%.
they're a team that I'm not afraid to lay it with. When the Ravens get healthy again, they're a team that I'm not afraid to lay some of these bigger spreads with. You know, a team I am afraid. So if you guys don't bring this one up, I am afraid to lay double digits with the Chiefs. So if that's not it's not one of my best bets, but I do want to talk to you guys about that game. Tyler, so that was my second best bet. I'm on the Detroit Lions. Oh, Jamie. So I hadn't placed that one yet. I saw it at 4.5 this morning. Do you think there's a chance it goes back? I mean, like I don't want to say the public because we're all public, but people have to like Baker after what we've seen, right?
Yeah, I think it also depends on the news maybe we get with Evans, and I haven't heard anything about Godwin. I think that changes a little bit. I could see it moving if Evans is like ruled out. I think it
goes
probably
all the way to 6.
I think it could. And if it did, I think that's another great T spot. Like it's not one of
maybe
other
that's
bets.
display.
Teasing them with like the Packers. Classic me. I got to reference the Packers at least some point. Packers are 6.5 favorites against the Cardinals. I think that's a pretty good.
And you mentioned one other good tease earlier. If the Vikings are at 2.5, you can take that one. The Patriots, of course. The Jaguars, you can get them up to 8.5. Although I don't know, out of all the Wongs, the Jaguars are my least favorite one. And I want to talk to you guys a little bit more.
London games, man. Yeah.
About that one. Yeah. Oh, it is London. That means it's more likely to go under. Okay, cool. So that's my second best bet. Tyler, what do you got?
We're going to fade that team coming back from London. That stinks. And they got the worst quarterback to ever do it in Justin Fields. And Carolina isn't as bad as people think. Rico Dowdle's an absolute stud. So
no,
Carolina,
he's not.
What do you mean?
He's been against Miami and Dallas.
Spread.
Any running back in the league could have done that.
Has any other running back done it yet? We've seen.
Has any other running back
played Miami and Dallas back to back?
Has anyone taken the snaps that man's taken in 2 games?
Yeah. That guy had 184 yards and his longest rush was 15. Like this guy didn't just pop up a 70-yarder. Just 10 yards at a time against this team. And he's a good pass catcher too. I like Rico Dowdle. Rico Dowdle was
I like him too, but I just
I saw a fantasy football
thread where they were talking about him and Bijan Robinson, and I'm like, you can't put them.
Well, no, he's not Bijan Robinson, but I mean, I think he's a good player. He was good for Dallas last year too.
I know I had so many shares of him last year, and then I didn't buy in on him this year, and I kind of passed over his name in that.
I got a little lucky. I have him a good chunk. I also have him
there. Javonte. We got a good chunk of them.
Oh, good for you. What's up?
Yeah,
we got a good chunk of them.
Oh, did we? Yeah, that would be on you because it wasn't me pushing for Rico Dowdle. I'll tell you that much because I had so much of him the year before. I thought for sure he was going to take over that backfield. I'm sorry. Where were we at? You got me. You got me off track.
No, we are fading the New York Jets, right? Stud. I mean, he was a spread 30 carries, and he was the leading receiver for the team. Also,
he's a good player, man. There's no way Chuba gets that full rollback.
No chance. And then the week before that, we could always argue he's playing the 2 worst defenses in the league. But the week before that, he took 23 carries and had 3 catches for 28 yards on top of that. The dude is taking all the work. There is no backup there right now. I think the whole plan was to always have 2 running backs with Bryce Young. And Rico Dowdle just looks like the better one right now. So it'll be a 2-man backfield when Chuba gets back, but I think Rico's going to be the lead man. And the defense isn't good, but I don't think the Jets are much of a threat. The Jets don't seem like they love.
The Jets are just going all out like Super Bowl style to just get that first win.
Coming back from London also to spread, like it's a weird thing. I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets are dumb enough to fire Aaron Glenn after 7 games. So
no, I don't think they can.
It's the Jets we're talking about. So I'm taking Carolina.
I hate that you're right about that. I want to be like this, like poor me Raiders fans, but then there's organizations like the Jets. Like
for as bad as I thought Carolina looked the first couple weeks.
Titans.
Yep.
Yeah. Go ahead, Tyler.
I was gonna say, for as bad as I thought Carolina looked the first couple weeks, they might not be a playoff team, but they could be right there looking in.
I
almost worry about that franchise because Bryce is going to play well enough to command a nice extension, and then they're screwed if they give him any amount of money.
I know if they could get a better quarterback. Dave Canales, we've talked about him honestly for a couple years. I feel like Dave Canales is a good coach. Like he is a solid
Bryce,
coach.
or are we like keep building around him, and is he going to keep looking better and better.
He might. But there's sometimes he looks really bad. It is tough, but that's the issue. Is like Spread said, it could just be a thing where he like looks really bad for a few games and looks pretty good, and there's this like fluctuation from week to week.
And what's
then
he going to
they're just kinda
command,
stuck
like
with them.
30 million? Like,
Yeah, it's
I don't
gonna
know.
be go put Jackson Dart on that team, man. That's what I wish I could see. I think
oh
that
my gosh. The
I think
Jackson
I would
Dart
be
is out
surprised.
of
I would be surprised
control.
if Bryce becomes the next guy of like the Baker Mayfields, the Sam Darnolds, where it's like
it's
we
definitely
really
possible.
didn't think he was that good. He
The only
moved
thing is he
things,
just
and then
doesn't have the measurables like those guys did.
Yeah, he's a smaller guy, skinny, and that's the thing. I think we thought that last year, right? Like he closed the year like those last 3 games, whatever it was, and looked really good. And I think a lot of people, including myself, thought we could see that, transition into this season, and it just hasn't. He has played a little better last few games. I think having a guy like Rico Dowdle really does help. I think they're going to start getting Tet the ball a little bit more. But outside of Tet, like that receiver core is terrible. I think Jalen Coker coming back is honestly like he's by far their second best receiver next to Tet, in my opinion. So I think he's going to help. So I'm with you. I love that bet this week too. I think it was a pick 'em to open.
I
but
just
minus
hate.
1.5
I wish.
at
I
all.
wish the Jets would have got the win. I hate that they're going to be so desperate.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
Garrett Wilson's also
I already
not
bet
going to
it
play
with
in
you
this
guys,
game.
by the way. That was my third best bet as well. But I just
nice.
I'm giving.
Okay.
I'm
okay.
giving. Well, I didn't necessarily think it was the best week. Well, did you have a lot of lines jumping off to you, Jamie?
There's a few. So I had the Panthers one too. That was like my 4th best play if I had one. There's 4 or 5 of them that I kind of like this week.
Then give me your next one, and then we'll talk about the games a little bit, the ones that we didn't make best bets.
So my second one was Detroit. So we already talked about that. But now I like the Saints plus 5.5. We talked about the Rat. I just think this is a pretty good spot. I like Kellen Moore a decent bit. I think Chris Olave is starting to get going. And I just think the Bears team has gotten a little lucky on a few little, like they very easily could have lost if Jaden Daniels and JCM didn't fumble there at the end. Like the Commanders had 3 turnovers to 0 to the Bears, and they barely squeaked out by a game-winning field goal. We've seen that kind of quite a bit with this Bears team kind of squeak one out. I don't think they're as great as maybe their record indicates. And I think the Saints are a little bit better than what their record indicates, to be honest. I like Spencer Rattler. I like Kellen Moore. So I think it's a good spot for the Saints here. I think just the Bears have been a little bit too lucky. It's kind of just fading some of that luck and think it kind of regresses back a little bit.
I want to ask about line movement again here. Once again, Bears, of course, looking good off that win. Tyler's ready to draft Caleb over Jaden Daniels, which I'm in absolute shock over. My question for you, Jamie, though, is does this 5.5 turn into a 6 if we're patient?
I don't know. DJ Moore probably isn't too valuable to the line. I wouldn't imagine that probably doesn't do anything, but he is day to day also, which to be honest, maybe we might want DJ Moore even in, because I think if DJ Moore's out, we get Luther Burden, who I think is the second best wide receiver on that team that just really hasn't been able to play much. So I think that honestly I might prefer DJ Moore, but I don't know if it really gets up there, to be honest. It could. But I still think I don't even think it matters really. 6 to 5.5. I don't think it likely matters.
Well, I'm going to wait a little bit, right? But I agree with you there. To me, it's Saints or pass. Let me see. So Panthers is my third pick. So I had one other one that you're going to like, Jamie. I'll throw this one to you. I'll let you take it away. You got to be on this, right? I'm ready to join you, dude. No.
Giants.
Your real love. Yeah, Jackson Dart and the Giants +7. That's way too much for that defensive line. I mean, Jackson Dart's a great story, and I'm appreciating the fact that you're right there, and the fact if they didn't have a competent offense, we wouldn't care. But the way that defense is playing, and I think that having a chance to score on offense, and having that. Jamie, I got to ask: have you done the little TikTok dance at your house? Are you hitting that on Sundays watching Red Zone? Are you hitting the dance?
Whoa, or whatever it is. Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, my little nephew sends me them every single time. My nephew's trying to change his number to Jackson Dart too. And he loves Jackson Dart, man. I get the aura farming and all that type of stuff all the time, dude. So it's he was here in town this past week, and he tried to teach me his little whatever dance he did after that first touchdown. I can't do it, man.
Right. When he wins Offensive Player of the Year, we're going to expect to see the aura dance from you, Jamie. New York Giants +7. It's actually one of my plays as well. What do you think, Jamie? Are you going to join me here, or do you think that maybe I'm being a little too hard on the Broncos? We talked about it from the Jets' perspective. Flying back to Denver is a little bit longer coming from the international game. Give me the New York Giants +7.
Yeah, I like that. It's a little worrisome. This is a really tough matchup, though, for Jackson Dart against this Denver team. I will say that. They get a lot of pressure on the quarterback. I mean, he can evade.
But that's where, don't you think Dable's going to be smart and it's got a boom season? I mean, he's got to know we got to run the ball more, right? Dart's a great story, and I'm glad that you've been right so far, but some of it has been Dable putting him in a position to succeed, even in the very 100%. First win, right? I kind of was giving you a little shtick because he only, he had less than 20 attempts, only threw for 111 yards, but it didn't matter because when he did, those were key pickups, right? Those are 3rd and 8s, right? Getting a 9-yard reception there, right? So better than a 17-yard reception on 3rd and 25.
Can we talk about how funny it was when Jackson Dart went in that tent and the panic that ensued?
Dayball was like,
dude,
hey, did you see that? They might lose a draft pick for that.
Not even just Dayball.
Really? That's how mad they are.
The players were freaking out. Scadabo's in there trying to teach him how to pass the concussion test.
Dude,
I don't know. I don't know if that was the owner or like one of the GMs that came down, was in the tan long coat talking to Dable, but it was almost like Dable was pleading to that man, was like, "Do not fire me. The kid's gonna be all right."
Yeah. That was hilarious. Like, that's why I think Dayball is. We talked about this earlier in the year. We talked about like first coaches to get fired. Is like, I was like, I think because Dayball has like I said, had the trump card, right? Like he could just bench Russell Wilson, play Jackson Dart, and then get saved by Jackson Dart. Like,
well, let's just say Dart looked terrible, right? Like, I mean, if Dart was out there looking like Fields,
100%. But he looked good.
Everybody's gone, right? So
he's going to save his job. Dayball's not getting fired this year, right? He's 2-1 now with Dart.
And to be fair, we bagged on those Joe Shane drafts, and he had that run. But let's only categorize it small sample size. But his last 2 drafts, Neighbors pretty good, right? I mean, you come away, you got Neighbors last season, and there's a couple other great players. Then this year you get Carter, Dart, Scadaboo. I mean, that's how you turn around a franchise, a draft like that. Assuming 100%. These guys continue to play the way they played the first 6 weeks.
100%. And I just think too, like, I think the teammates love Jackson Dart. Like, I think there's something about him where like the teammates like really get up for this guy. Jackson Dart is awesome, man. I love Jackson Dart. And honestly, Brian Daboll was a big reason why I even said at the beginning, we talked about after the draft about why I thought Jackson Dart was going to be the best quarterback out of all of them, because so much of this is situational. Where do these teams go? Cam Ward went into a disaster, and that's sometimes what happens when you're the number 1 overall pick, right? Like you go to a disaster organization with a terrible coach, and like there's a lot worse coaches than Brian Daboll. Like we've seen Brian Daboll have success with Daniel Jones and get that team to the playoffs. In the last few years, this team hasn't been that great, of course, but I just thought it was one of the best situations a quarterback actually could have went to. So
yeah, we'll see without Neighbors. That was going to make his reads a little bit easier.
Oh, that's why it's very tough. That's why like now I'm very like, that's why I'm still a little bearish on like, betting them against like the Broncos, because he was throwing to Wan'Dale Robinson.
Honestly, I'm betting that defense though.
You what?
I think they can slow down the run up, and I think they can slow down the run with the defensive line and the way they've been doing their front 7 packages. And then I'm just not. I mean, Bo Nix is cool, but I'm not worried about him covering huge spreads on me, right?
He's a super volatile player, dude. He sucks.
What I don't like about those volatile, if he's on, I lose, right? I mean,
that is the case. That's what I'm saying. This could
3 touchdowns.
Yes, this is a spot where I think that against the Giants, he could cook something up. But I thought Sean Payton has not been very good, honestly, for the most part this year. He's had a few good things, but there's been a few like situational things. I'm like, what is this guy doing? Like, I'm sorry, but beating the Jets 13-11 when they had like 80 total yards on offense.
To be fair, we throw all those international games out though.
I mean, sure, they definitely suck, but Bo Nix was not good. Sean Payton did not call a good game. That to me was just, like I said, he's a volatile player. This could be a spot against the Giants.
Have you eaten the food in England? Have you been there?
I've never been. I've not.
Oh, dude, I ate like Indian food like every meal. Like the actual English food is not
It's
good.
terrible. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine being a football player like those guys eating like 7,000 calories a day, like what they were trying to do over there.
Yeah.
They probably bring their own food and their own chefs. All right. So yeah, there you got it for me, New York Giants. Tyler, any thoughts there on me fading the other team coming back from London?
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. I don't think Denver's as good as their record shows. I kind of think that team stinks. And the Giants look like they can put up points. So 7 might be too many. They might even win the game.
I don't think they stink. I think they're just average. I mean, the defense is really good.
Defense is good.
And they have an average
offense is pretty
offense.
bad.
The offense
Their
is
offense
bad.
is pretty bad.
Pretty bad, huh? Not just average.
I think they're
bad.
pretty. Bo Nix is like, I don't know.
Average is what the
one worse
Steelers
quarter.
offense looks like right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
they're
just-
about the same.
No.
Aaron Rodgers is playing way better than
Tyler
Bo Nix.
I love this new Steelers fan coming out of Tyler.
I can feel it too.
he'll be
Tyler's kind of
calling
like,
us
okay, we're 4-1.
Yeah, he's gonna be calling us yins by week
This is not
12.
point in the year. I guarantee you can literally go back because I remember saying it. If you went back through these shows and found like about week 8, week 9 of last year's shows, there's going to be a portion of a show where I tell spread. I'm like, hey, the Steelers are like still 40-1 to win the Super Bowl. Like they might realistically have a shot, and then they're going to proceed to lose about 6 of the next 7 games and limp into the playoffs. So it's like a roller coaster. We're getting to the high point, and all of a sudden, it's going to start to come down.
I mean, I will say Rodgers has not played. It honestly, I think, is just a testament to how bad the Jets are. I mean, you could see it with Fields, right? Like, and Rodgers' numbers last year weren't terrible. The Jets just kind of suck.
Yeah.
And so I think Rodgers getting on like a functional organization, like with DK Metcalf, and I think it's fun. I'm hoping the Steelers win this week, the Packers win this week, and then in week 8 we get Sunday Night Football, Packers versus the Steelers, both teams with like 1 loss at the top of the conference. I think that would be
Where's it at?
that would be awesome. It's in Pittsburgh. I wish it was in Green Bay. It would be so much cooler to have Rodgers come
going
back.
back to Lambeau. Yeah.
That would have been awesome. But I think that would be super fun. That'd be an awesome Sunday Night Football game. And then just the Packers just lay the smack down on them, dude. Let Jordan Love show
Micah
Rodgers
Parsons
who he is.
breaks Aaron Rodgers in half.
I hope not, though. That'd be rough.
You know what that's going to be for me, Jamie, right? We're going to be head-to-head there. Tomlin is a dog.
Yeah, he
There's
definitely
that
will be.
little Birdman
Tomlin
gift.
is a home dog spread
A home
Yes.
dog.
in
A
prime
home
time.
dog. And
Yeah.
Revenge Rodgers, the pettiest man. The man, he should be an NBA player. That's how petty he is.
There's
go. I
no
love
doubt
it.
he's going to be juiced up about that game. That's going to be an
Yeah.
awesome game, man. That's going to be fun.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. We'll be rooting for you there then. Okay. So any other thoughts there, Tyler, on my Giants +7, and then we'll move on.
Nope, that's it for me. Only Giants +7.
What's your next best bet, Tyler?
Give me the Colts. You gotta stick to the train.
I
And they're
knew
an
you were
underdog
going
this
to
week.
take that team. Unbelievable. Who do they
I got
play
dogs
this week?
going crazy upstairs. I'd love to give a breakdown, but I'm gonna go shove them outside.
Let's go talk about Tyler taking the Colts fading the Chargers. Does Indianapolis finally travel?
Yeah,
This is one of the games. If you would have told me at the beginning of the season the Chargers would actually have a home field advantage, you think Indianapolis will fill this stadium up?
I don't know,
with
man.
the-
They might. I bet
There's
so.
a lot of excitement around that team, right?
Dude, they're fun. They're a fun team. It's so funny when you look at that, like the top of the AFC, and it's literally like we're in like the mid 2000s again, with like
Yeah.
the Chargers up there, the
Patriots,
Colts, the
Colts,
yeah. And I'm like, what year is this, man? Like that is it's pretty cool to see, to be honest with you.
Do you guys see the meme where it was like you guys killed the man, but you didn't kill the legend, and it's the 3-headed dragon? And it was Peyton Manning, Eli, and Brady, and now it's Daniel Jones, Drake May, and Jackson Dart.
I love it.
All right, Tyler, break it down on why you're gonna fade Jim Harbaugh and the Los Angeles
It
Chargers.
just feels like honestly, it looks like a buy low spot on the Colts even though they're coming off a win. Yeah, they played with their food and the Cardinals kept it close, but that was the Jacoby Brissett under center. We know.
Yeah, we got screwed on that bet. I forgot to mention that last week.
Yeah,
I
we
would
know
not have laid
Kyler's
the
not a
points
good NFL
if
quarterback.
if I thought that Kyler.
It
was
probably
gonna miss
didn't
the
help
game.
us either that their practice before the game was an absolute minefield. I mean, Anthony Richardson, he wasn't impacting the game, but in a band workout, he fractured his orbital because the band broke and hit him in the face. So there was that. Kenny Moore was already missing the game, the starting corner. The other starting corner got truck sticked by the tight end in warmups. He got concussed. So we were losing guys before the game even started.
Bro, that was wild. I saw the video of that, and it literally it's like a Goldberg spear, and he just like laid out, not moving. I'm like, oh my, bro! The coaches had to be so pissed, bro. Especially like a backup tight end doing it. You know what I mean? Just like, probably just so pissed about their all-pro corner. Like, come on, man.
That was wild. But you got to think those guys will be back this week. You're playing a hobbled Chargers team.
They look rough, yeah.
We want to talk about Rico Dowdle inflating some number spread. Remember that ghost we were drafting last year, Kimani Vidal, who ran for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns?
Yeah, and then I didn't think he was good, so I got Haskins in my managed leagues. Unbelievable.
Oh,
yeah. So I just don't think that they'll have the same success against the Colts defense that they had against Miami. The Colts will have their guys back. I think they'll be able to move the ball against the Chargers. It's not like the Chargers have some home field advantage, and they're not putting them out at the elements. So I think it's a good spot to be on the Colts at plus money.
What do you think, Jamie? Where would you land on that game? I was afraid to get involved. I hate betting Harbaugh on these tough spots, betting against him.
I think I like it, man. The Chargers look a little rough right now. I mean, there are a bunch of injuries piling up. I'm not sold on Vidal. I think that's just a product of Miami being so bad, which goes back to like playing all the Judkins stuff this week. Like that Miami defense is just terrible. I think the Colts are an awesome team, man. Like they're a good team. They have some legit weapons on that team. Jonathan Taylor is awesome. Tyler Warren is top 3-4 tight end in the league, and he gets schemed up on so much stuff. Like that team runs play action at such a high rate, and that's just so good for Tyler Warren and just so good for that offense in general. Daniel Jones looks good. That's Josh Downs, I think, might be turning the corner too. Like I think he's a really good player. And I think he's starting to get a little bit more work, starting to look a little better too. So I like that spot for the Colts.
All right. What's your next best bet, Jamie?
Yeah, that was it. So I had those three, and then we talked about the Giants was one of the spots. I guess I'll just reiterate some of the teasers. You know, like I said, tease the Packers down. I think that's a good one with maybe if the Lions get up to 6, but also like with the Vikings. I will say the props aren't up yet, unfortunately. So, but I do like Jordan Love over 1.5 TDs in this spot. He absolutely crushed Cardinals. They play zone like a top 8 rate. He absolutely crushed them last year when they played like 4 touchdowns, averaged like 9.1 yards per attempt. I think it's going to be a good Jordan Love spot here after a couple really big games from Jacobs. So I like this spot here for Jordan Love. So that would probably be my next one. Whatever. I imagine it'll be like over 1.5, maybe minus 115, minus 120-ish. And I like that quite a bit.
All right, guys, let's go over some of the games that we left out. The first one is the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're minus 5.5 on Thursday night. Tyler, you know I love Tomlin. I mean, who else takes on opposing teams' GMs in his press conference?
That was great.
I was loving the saltiness there. So obviously he believes that Joe Flacco is an upgrade over Jake Browning. Not too happy with his counterparts down in Cleveland. Steelers leaving 5.5. Tyler, you know I want to buy in on the Steelers. I want to love the Steelers, but just years of Pavlovian responses here. Can I bet the Steelers is a favorite on the road? This doesn't seem like a good spot.
Or
the Bengals just that bad?
I think they're just that bad. Like, did you see what Jamar Chase said?
What?
He said the Steelers are going to come to town and they're basically going to try and raw dog them.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that.
So he knows that they are going to attack Joe Flacco with every blitz they can. I just don't see Green Bay was a good matchup for him, and Green Bay's defense was able to hold him for the most part. But Green Bay's offense it didn't seem like it just ever clicked in that game. Like they could never really get it going. Jacobs got some on the ground, but throughout the air they couldn't get that going. I think Rodgers and DK light this defense up. They were just able to shred. Just those two alone were able to shred a Browns defense that no one could stop. Everyone was getting beat up by this Browns defense. So I think they have their way on offense. I think they put up a bunch of points. And TJ Watt and these guys just give Flacco hell. So I think they cover it.
Do we lay the 5.5, Jamie?
I don't know. It's tough. I hate these Thursday night games. I would lean with Pittsburgh. I would not bet the Bengals personally. I think the Steelers match up pretty well against them. I think it's going to be a rough night, I think, for Joe Flacco. I think he could get sacked multiple times here. I would lean the Steelers, but I'm staying away. I hate Thursday night football games.
DK's yards are set at 58.5. He might do that one catch.
Yeah, I mean that's
really.
What's his longest reception? Like 22.5. I would like that too.
Reception is 24.5. So you're hanging out 58.5 with the longest reception at 24.5.
Yeah, I would say you might as well then just take the 58.5 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
All right. So that's our prime time. Jamie, do you hate the Sunday morning games too? I actually enjoy them from a viewer's perspective more than Thursday night football, but I just don't think that we take anything away from them. There's so many variables.
I think they're
like,
stupid.
For example, it's the Rams and the Jaguars, but if they're at the same conference and they were going to meet again in the playoffs, I wouldn't use anything that we saw in London to be predictive or actionable information. I just think it's like good entertainment, but there's just so many weird factors. Like who's been over there before, who hasn't, how are they going to respond?
Yeah.
Like I know your generation, like some of them don't care about history. They're not going to go be trying to visit all these spots, right? They're just going to sit at home on their phone. So, you know, other guys, right? Especially some older teams, they might be actually trying to see some of these great spots and taking it as a vacation and not treating it as seriously as, say, just traveling to Jacksonville, which I think has a lot of strip clubs, but I don't know if it has too many distractions. All right, Jamie, talk to me about the Rams and the Jaguars. I think this is a tough game, man. I think this is a tough game. It's like, you talked about not wanting to bet the Thursday night game. I feel the same way about this one, but I'm always up and watching them. So if you had a good play, I'm all ears and wanted to hear it. What do you think of the Rams and the Jaguars? Start with you, Jamie.
I would lean with the Rams here. I like the Jaguars a lot. I've talked about all offseason how much I like Liam Cohen, and I think he's done an awesome job, to be honest. Like, I think Trevor Lawrence has started to play better the last couple of weeks. I think Brian Thomas is starting to play much better as well. But I think this is a good spot for the Rams. I think I like Sean McVay in this spot. I know Puka will probably be out, but I still think that's all right. This Jaguars defense, I think it's a good defense, but I think like there's a lot of regression from like a turnover aspect. Like,
okay, I was about to kind of call you out on that and say I do the same thing too, right? You can tell we play a lot of fantasy because we've talked about Trevor and Thomas and the running backs. But I think the defense has really been the key to that team. And I can't remember the young man's name off the top of my head, but whoever Cohen brought in there got those guys hitting. And I think sometimes that leads to the turnovers when you're playing aggressive, right? You see those teams, they're laying the lumber, right? Sometimes some of those early bruises, some of those early hits can lead to people getting coughed up later as they take so many hits. So I like both these defenses here. I was thinking a total maybe under 44.5.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. These games are always kind of random, I feel like. Like, I know we talked about too, like from a viewer perspective, I'm up early in the morning anyways on Sunday, so sitting in my office, having the TV on and watching it, it's pretty cool. Like, I'm never going to turn down football, but from like, there's been a lot of bad games, and like this game I feel like is actually much better than some of the other games we got, because I feel like some of the past games, even this year and years in the past, like, what are we trying to make like, these people overseas that hate football, because like some of the product is absolutely terrible. Like,
well, I think it's just the 1 week to fly over there. I mean, if you've flown over there, you're wrecked for like a day and a half.
Right.
At least I was. And I was like young when I went.
Yes. And why all these teams, why the Browns, I wasn't on last week, but the Browns got absolutely screwed. Like last week, like they were like the only team to go overseas and then not get a bye the following week. You know what I mean?
No, so like these two teams just did it this week. The Jets and the Broncos, they just chose to too. The teams choose to do it, Jamie.
It's that is to me is wild. It's like the Rams and Jaguars are both going to get a bye next week. I just think
they chose to accept it. The Jets, the Broncos, and the Browns all chose not to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why we talked about earlier. It's like good betting spots, betting against the Broncos, betting against some of these teams that are doing that.
It's almost like they're punting on this game to get that bye later in the season to make a playoff push. Now, if you're the Browns and the Jets, that seems pretty dumb. I guess the Broncos, you can understand why they would want that later bye to try and get healthy later in the season. Tyler, Rams and Jaguars. I like the under 44.5 as we talk through this here. I keep going both ways on the side. Just to, I know it's not in one of your best bets, but if you were forced to bet it, right, you're just a Degen, you just can't stop betting. What would you play, Tyler? Rams, Jaguars, over, under? What are you thinking?
I'd probably lean towards the over just with those offenses on the field. I mean, I know it's the
Really?
It's the overseas game, so you auto
Those defenses are really good too, though.
Yeah, but this is overseas, and I know we automatically lean towards less points, but I think you could see some points in this one. I'm not very confident saying that, but
there.
I would.
Yeah, these weren't best bets.
This game wasn't even on my radar.
Yeah, I'm not touching it. Maybe some player props or something for some action.
Just if someone's betting every game though, Tyler, they have an NFL weekly office pool. Rams -3, Jaguars +3. What would you take?
Probably the Jags.
Interesting. Okay. I just got to get your thoughts because I'm a masochist. My Raiders catching 13. Chiefs have not been the best at covering spreads during this little dynasty that they've been pulling off here. My team's built some momentum with the win over the Titans. Can they follow it up, Jamie, and cover this 13-point spread? What do you think?
I have no interest in this spot, to be honest with you. Historically, we hate betting the Chiefs at this price, but we just talked about it, how the Chiefs are really good. I don't think the Raiders are very good at all. But 13.5 is just a lot of points, man. This is a stay away from me. No, thank you. Maybe go take some Rashee Rice stuff. Maybe he gets peppered here
on his first game.
Why would he not? Do you think he's going to be on a snap count?
Things up for Worthy more.
Oh, he definitely could, but I think he's going to get peppered, man. I think he's fully healthy. He played in the preseason. I don't think they're going to waste too much time, but I have no interest.
It might be the easiest bet of the year then, right? Because if they are assuming a snap count or some rustiness, you might get a low number and then be like, I can't believe we got that. Tyler, give me some hope. You found some hope in your favorite team. Give me some hope in mine. +13. Can we take it? Can we take the Las Vegas Raiders? Can they keep this game close, or will it be an utter embarrassment? And will I be pissed off by, is this a morning game? By 11 a.m. Pacific time.
I mean, they could keep it close. They might be down 20 the entire game and then backdoor it. So,
yeah,
I think it's too many points.
Okay, good.
It feels that way, doesn't it? It feels like it could just be like a game that's not even close the whole time, and then just like a stupid backdoor. But how bad has Geno Smith been? Oh my gosh, bro, that guy he's terrible. Like I feel bad. I feel bad for you, Spread, honestly, because like I just feel like a lot of these teams, like even the Giants who are bad, you still like it's fun to watch, right? Like you have hope, and like with the Raiders, you got like a coach that's like 85. I know he's not 85, but a super old coach. You have Geno Smith. Like it just doesn't feel like you have any like future, really. I know you got Ginty, but like Ginty ain't gonna make your team good. You know what I mean? Like you just don't have like another quarterback to come in. Like they should have got Jackson Dart. They should have made a move up and got Jackson Dart, or just anybody. You know what I mean? Even Shador could at least give you some sort of excitement. Who knows if he's going to be good or not? I just feel like they're just in like a really tough spot, and it's just probably hard to be excited as a Raider fan.
So the only thing I had to be excited for was when Brock Bowers comes back healthy, because he hasn't been healthy all season.
Yeah,
maybe he can kind of make Geno look good,
dude.
Because sometimes we've seen players do that, right?
This team needs
like
to
Tyler
play.
Warren's been huge for Daniel Jones, I think.
100%. This team needs to play way more 12 personnel. Michael Mayer is good.
Bowers hasn't played, so
yeah. But I'm saying when he gets back and healthy, Michael Mayer is a really good tight end. I don't know if this will happen, and it probably won't, because I doubt the Raiders would trade this guy in their division. But if I were the Chiefs, and you know that Kelsey's like a year or two out from being done, I would have before this season went and traded for Michael Mayer. Again, I don't think the Raiders probably would have done it, traded division, but like Michael Mayer is a really, really good player. I'm biased as a Notre Dame fan, so I watched every single snap of his, but he shattered like tight end records at Notre Dame. So he was a guy I wanted the Packers to draft that year too. So I just think they should run more 12 personnel. I just think the receivers are not very good.
Is Chip Kelly built to do that though? I mean, does Chip Kelly even know that that's a package?
Probably not, but he's just good, man.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, thank you. You guys gave me some hope. Tyler, I do want to talk about one game in the afternoon that we left off the card. The Commanders, tough loss last night, but we talked about how that could have gone either way. And a lot of these games do feel like 3-hour coin flips here when we're betting on them. But I actually almost put this one on the card. They're laying 1.5, and it's basically a fate of the Dallas Cowboys. I know Dallas has a great offense, but I like the Commanders bouncing back off a loss against a rival. What do you think here, though, Tyler? Am I underestimating the Cowboys?
I'd wait and see how many of these guys come back, because if they're all back, I would be on the Cowboys.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Jamie, what do you think?
Washington-
Tyler and I are opposite there. Oh, go ahead, Tyler. Why is that?
I was just going to say Washington doesn't scare me as a team really right now. And I think they're kind of very similar in skill level. Like, yeah, the defense for Washington might be slightly better. They're not elite at any kind of level. And
Coaching's
it's a divisional game. They usually play a little tighter. I think I'd take
Coaching is
Dallas
that much better for Washington?
I like Dan Quinn a lot better than Eberflus when you're talking about defense.
Oh, defense.
I mean, we're talking about the coordinator. We're talking about the coordinators. I'm talking about the talent on the field.
Yeah, talent. I think head coaching
Washington's
too.
got a coaching advantage. Yeah, I like Quinn
I think
better
Brett
than.
Schottenheimer's
Although
better than Dan
you have to
Quinn.
give Schottenheimer's been doing pretty good. What do you think, Jamie? I like the Commanders. Tyler says I'm walking into a trap. Where would you land on that game?
Yeah, I lean Cowboys. I think Dak Prescott's been playing as the best quarterback in the league. If the Cowboys were good, if the Cowboys were 4-2 right now, Dak would probably be up there as towards one of the favorite to win MVP this year. I think we're just seeing what he did in 2023, which was the last time Brian Schottenheimer called plays as well. So I like the Cowboys in this spot. I think they're a pretty decent football team. I think the defense is bad, but I think the offense is great.
All right. Looks like I'll walk alone on the Commanders versus the Cowboys. Let's move to Sunday night football. The San Francisco 49ers continue to get bad news on the injury front. Not only did they lose Nick Bosa, now they lose Fred Warner. It was too much for them to overcome. Tyler, I got to eat my words. Out of everybody on the Niners, I thought McCaffrey was going to be the one that got hurt this season. He's still out there balling out. I think he's third in the league in targets this year. But Falcons, of course, coming off that exciting win over the Buffalo Bills on primetime, so they're a little bit shorter rest. Plus, the Falcons have to travel out to San Francisco. Niners laying 2.5, but I'm wondering if this is the week that the injuries kind of just catch up with this team, and the Falcons are on the rise, looking healthy, coming off some momentum. I am worried about taking a dome team outdoors. I'll have to double check the weather. It's supposed to be raining. It's raining here right now. I don't think the storm lasts a week, though. I think it's going to be dry. Tyler, talk to me about what you're expecting there in Sunday Night Football. I'm kind of leaning towards taking the points.
Yeah, I'm not really expecting much of anything in that game because I literally crossed that one off too. So I really don't have much of a breakdown on that one, spread.
So tell me why you crossed it off. What are your concerns? If I tell you I want the Falcons, why would you tell me not to take it?
I'm not betting the Falcons because I just don't like them as a team. And I don't think that win over the Bills kind of inflates their numbers. And I don't think the Bills are good either. And San Fran's all beat up, so I don't want to bet them. So it's just a complete stay away from me.
All right. I do like the Falcons. I like the way that they were able to run the ball against Buffalo. And Bijan might be what CMC was 2 years ago. And probably going into the season, the Niners had a better defense. Niners had an excellent defensive coordinator. You lose both, though. You lose Warner is probably too much. Let's listen to a pod today making a good point. Beautiful run by Baker there. But does that happen if Fred Warner's on the field? I don't think so. We already talked about one of the Monday night games. Jamie and I both like the Lions over the Buccaneers. Tyler, Texans and Seahawks. Your thoughts?
Got to go Seahawks. I mean, Texans just beat the Ravens. That's not impressive, especially where the Ravens are at right now. So, got to roll Sammy D.
You're not worried about that excellent pass rush there going against that weak offensive line?
I think it could give them some problems, but I just think that their offense is good enough that they're going to be the one to put points on the board.
Okay. I think we lost Jamie. Yeah, that looks
He's
like
trying.
the bottom of his laptop.
And we're staring at his screen. Here's his mouse pad.
Yeah. All right, Tyler. That's pretty much all the games. I didn't want to get Jamie's thoughts on there, but I don't know if he's going to be back up on time. Anything else that we left out? I mean, we didn't really talk about the Packers too much, but that kind of evens up our Packers. Oh, we got Jamie back. Jamie, real quick, I want to go through the primetime games. I kind of like the Falcons. Tyler doesn't like the Falcons, though, but I think he's just being a little biased on his priors because he hasn't liked them all year. I think the Falcons are playing well. I think Bijan is what CMC used to be. Give me the Atlanta Falcons plus 2.5. What do you think Sunday Night Football, Jamie? You're muted, too. Let me see if I can unmute it.
No, it's something on his end. He's probably just got to switch his mic, his settings. Looks like it's giving him a little trouble.
His mic isn't connected. It says can't unmute your guest. The mic isn't connected. All right, Tyler, we're gonna have to keep.
Oh wait, he's unmuted. He's unmuted.
All right,
I'm unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. Falcons. What do you think, Jamie? Here's my concerns. I'm playing a dome team outdoors, going cross country on short rest.
Yeah, I like San Francisco. I do think Atlanta's a good team, though.
Do you?
Okay. I do. I think they're going to get Kittle back. I think Kittle's going to make a big impact here. I think they're going to hope. I mean, they did just lose Warner. This team just gets hurt like I've never seen before, man. It's brutal. But I do think I'm going to lean San Francisco. I trust Kyle Shanahan. I think he can get it done. But I do think Atlanta's a fun team. That defense is legit, man.
Yeah, I think they're legit too. And I'm worried on the Niners. We're just hanging onto our priors too much. Warner and Bosa might just be too much to overcome, even for a good defensive head coach like Robert Saleh. We already talked about the Lions and the Buccaneers. Tyler likes the Seahawks. You know, I'm always hesitant to lay 3.5 in a primetime game. I'm also worried that the Texans pass rush can give Darnold some problems up the middle there. Seahawks will probably do the same to the Texans. What are your thoughts here when those two teams take the field on Monday night?
Yeah, it's Seattle. I like the Seattle side. I don't know if I'll bet it, but I definitely lean that way. I just think they've been playing really, really well. I think they're a solid team. I do have some concerns about their secondary. They're a little beat up. So I wouldn't even be surprised. Like Stroud have a decent game. I could see Nico popping off for a good game. I think we could actually see a sneaky amount of points in this spot, to be honest with you. But I would lean with Seattle at -3.
All right. Mike Robb in here saying that I'm looking like a lumberjack to impress a lady friend. I'll have you know, Mike Robb, I've been listening to a lot of Soundgarden and Pearl Jam lately, so I had to bust out the flannel. I don't think these two guys will know about that stuff, but
no.
You definitely will, Mike Robb. All right, guys. Final thoughts from you, Jamie, and then Tyler, your final thoughts can end our show. Did Jamie freeze up on us?
I think he did. I think he froze up again.
All right, you're going to get us out of here then.
Yeah, final thoughts. I think the season's coming around. It's looking good. Chiefs look like they're separating their way in the AFC, and your boy Sam Darnold's finally putting it together. So, see what happens.
Things I love to hear.